Hello, this is CNR Sports Madness, and today I have my guest, Tex Hartley, and Showtime Lil with me. And right now we're going to get a little bit into the NBA. And since the trade deadline has passed, which teams you think did good with the trade deadline, which teams you think were left off shortchanged?
Well, the trade deadline, I think the Pelicans nailed it because in the future you got DeMarcus Cousins, who's a star center, and you pair him up with Anthony Davis. Now you have like a dynamic front court. So now in free agency they could like get a couple more star pieces, and then they could make a run for it next year, just like that. It's gonna take time, but just watch out for the Pelicans next season.
I would like to throw in that the Portland Trailblazers, they also got a very good trade. They got a very good big man, and Narek. He comes in, he gets a lot of rebounds. He's a very scrappy player. He'll help them, get rebounds. And as you can see, I'm pretty sure they've been winning lately. So that's one of those good teams that got a lot during the trade deadline.
All right. So now you know that the playoffs are soon to come. So right now, we basically know which teams, should clinch playoffs and which teams are still fighting. So I wanted to get y'all guys' opinions on which teams you think might get upset in the playoffs and what teams you think might be doing the upset.
Well, in my opinion, I like how the Celtics have been playing lately. So I think that since the Cavs' defense hasn't been really good up to par, and that they haven't been playing well the past stretch, and the loss of Kevin Love is going to hurt their chances when it comes to the conference finals.
You see the big green in the finals this year?
Yeah, so I see Big Green going all the way. I think that the Celtics go, and I think they face the Warriors. Once KD comes back, it's going to give the Warriors some more offensive power. And Cavs, like I said, they've been giving up like 100 points per game, so I don't see them going.
Okay.
I'm going to say don't sleep on the Jazz. The Utah Jazz, they might be in fourth in the West, but people are not realizing that the Utah Jazz are actually in the running. Who would think that the Jazz was in there? They got nice pieces like Joe Johnson. Yeah. They have a Gordon Hayward All-Star. They have they have people that you wouldn't think of that are helping them win chips. So if they get close to the Western Conference Finals, they might be one team to sleep on. And the Rockets also, with the addition of Lou Williams and Eric Gordon now, is starting to pick it up and become his six-man form. They might get close, so don't sleep on them. My prediction would end up being, I still got the Cavs Warriors. You can't go wrong.
The Cavs did a lot of good pickups. They have Kyle Korver now.
I don't like the repeat.
They have Deron Williams. They picked up a lot of good pieces.
Deron Williams is like 55 years old, so
yeah. But
he's also
LeBron was asking for that. He was asking for that point guard, the playmaker, and they got one of him.
He's like a half a point guard to me. I don't know. I still see Isaiah Thomas averaging about 30 a game. So
all right, well, what you think?
And their defense is good. They're a balanced team, offense with the defense. They beat the Cavs a couple weeks ago. So
all right.
Cavs versus Warriors in the chip. Boston versus Warriors, and I think they win it all. Celtics in 7.
That's good. Well, we got you guys' predictions.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long season. And there's nothing to do but just wait and see what happens. Now we're about to head on to March Madness.
Let's go up.
Alright, now we're back and we're going to March Madness. So, I still have Tex Hartley and Showtime Lil with me, and they're going to talk more about it. But guys, we just seen first four happen yesterday, and we seen the teams that made it. Congratulations to the final 2 teams that made it to be 14th seed. But what's you guys' predictions so far? And what teams you think should have been lower, or what teams should have been higher? And what teams you think could make some noise and make a run?
Well, first off, I think that Duke should have been a 1 seed.
Okay.
I think that Gonzaga, even though they won 29 games and only lost 1, they didn't play enough competition for me to put them as a 1 seed. I think that Duke is running the ACC tournament, should have had them as a 1 seed. But I have a couple upsets in the first round. I have Eastern Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Beating Florida because Florida doesn't have enough firepower or shooters.
Don't they still have ATL over there?
Yeah, but they don't have enough shooters to me to go. So I see them getting upset, and I have Arizona going all the way and going against Kansas in the championship.
All right.
Yeah.
Did he just say that Duke should have been a number 1 seed?
Yes, I did.
He said Duke?
Duke.
Duke, the same team that lost to NC State The same team that finished 5th in their
The
conference.
same team that made Coach K almost quit
The
his
same team that
job.
won the
The same team
that
that has a man who can't play basketball without tripping
The
someone.
same team that
The
has a
same
leader fighting
team
people almost every game.
that is favored to win the
This
NCAA tournament.
is replicable, deplorable, and blasphemous. This is crazy. He has Duke being a number 1 seed. Is he crazy?
But they're favored in 5-2
No,
odds to
I
win
don't
the
care
championship.
what the favorites say. I care what I say. What the people say. Forget the favorites.
Gonzaga doesn't play anything.
Gonzaga should have been a number 1
Gonzaga
seed like they
sucks.
are.
Did listen?
They beat
Who?
Arizona.
Who they beat?
And I guarantee
Who?
Arizona is someone's pick up here, and they beat Arizona.
100% his pick.
Who else besides Arizona? Okay.
Who else did they
that's
beat?
mine.
Oh wait.
Their
Wait,
conference
forget
is not
Arizona.
bad.
Their conference is not bad.
Their conference
It's
is
a
not
terrible
bad.
conference.
So let's
you
go.
only have 2 teams in the tournament from that conference.
And what's the teams?
St. Mary's, which
Which
will
is
lose.
good. It's
Which
ranked.
will lose.
It's
in
ranked.
the
The
first
same
round.
marriage just the same marriage
Which
just
will
qualified.
lose.
Same marriage just
Which they were
Same
17.
marriage just
They were
qualified,
17, and they're
They
also
just
going to lose
qualified,
first
right?
round.
They qualified.
And also, Gonzaga
Wait.
will get upset. by
My
Iowa
St. Mary's beat New
They
Orleans
will
yesterday,
get
right?
upset by
Iowa State in the Sweet 16. They're going to pack them.
Iowa State, bro.
They will beat Gonzaga.
This-
Vanderbilt can also beat them in the round of
All right,
32.
you know, it's spicy. Let's move on, though. Let's move on.
Oh my god.
So, you know, since we were just talking about the NBA, we got to bring in the draft, man.
I see
So-
Jason Tatum as a rising star. I seen him as first to 20 pick, maybe 25. But I see him going as top 5 pick. He's been playing outstanding basketball of late. He's averaged 22 in the tournament. He could be the best player on Duke right now.
Whoa. Luke Kennard.
alongside
Luke
Kennard.
Kennard is definitely-
Kennard is the star, but Jason Tatum is
But
he's
can I-
absolutely a sensational.
Can I channel my inner Dickie Vitale out here? You gotta watch out for De'Aaron Fox, baby. He's coming out of the draft. He's killing for Kentucky. He's doing everything. He's winning the chip. He's beating Arkansas. He's beating the Alabamas, who Colin Sexton, a great point guard next year, is coming to, by the way. But he's beating them, and he's going in the draft. Don't be sleep on De'Aaron Fox.
Did you just say Kentucky is going to the draft? I mean, to the championship?
All right, guys.
No.
So,
Okay.
you know, there's a lot of people in the draft that could go high and could go low. But we're going to get to that more later in CNR Sports Madness.
Alright, did I just literally talk the whole thing about Duke and you forgot other teams in it?
All right, so, guys, let me get you predictions on who's going to win it all in March.
Well, I have Arizona
And how come
beating
you
Duke
have
in the
it?
Final Four. And I have Arizona playing against Kansas in the championship. And I think that's because of Alonzo Trier, the emergence of him. They didn't have him at first, and they only lost 4 games this season. And they get their star freshman back, Kobe Simmons.
Okay.
So that's going to be a big boost.
And who you got taking it off?
Well, this year I have my prediction, and I'm gonna show you who exactly it is. And we're coming out here with the Duke Blue Devils winning it all. They're going to win it all. They're gonna beat Villanova, and they're gonna beat Kansas in the chip. And that is my prediction.
All right, and I basically got 2 teams. I got either Oregon or the hyping UCLA Lonzo Ball and them winning. Because UCLA right now, the way I see them playing, they're an athletic team, and Lonzo Ball, all I can say is that once he gets hot, nobody in the whole NCAA can stop him.
But you gotta choose.
So you got to choose one? So is it UCLA?
I'm gonna go with Oregon just for the fact that they was playing good this season until they lost to Arizona, but they've been playing good.
All right.
So there go our predictions,
Our
and
picks. See you next time.
see you next time.
CNR Sports Madness. Let's go.
Welcome to CNR Madness, and today we're going to be talking about, NFL football, and I have my guest here, Andy, and we're going to talk about, my first question for you is, recently we've seen that Eddie Lacy has gone from 234 to 267 this offseason, and he signed to the Seahawks. So how do you feel about people saying he's the next Marshawn Lynch?
Well, for starters, I feel like that's kind of retarded.
Yeah, that's...
I don't think that's reasonable to expect Eddie Lacy, someone who's been overweight his whole entire career, who gets hurt. He's not. You can't expect someone to be a Hall of Fame running back. You just can't expect that from him. I feel like he was a good addition to the Seahawks in the schemes that they play on offense. They always had a power back, and I feel like that was a good pickup. But to say that he's going to be the next Eddie Lacy just doesn't fit right. To be the next Marshawn Lynch doesn't seem right to me. It just doesn't feel like that's possible.
Yeah, Marshawn, they call him Beast Mode for a reason.
Exactly.
The next question I was going to ask you is, how do you feel Brandon Marshall is going to fit into this Giants offense with an Odell who wants the ball so much? How do you think Brandon Marshall will fit as Eli?
Well, for starters, I'm going to say that the Jets are bozos for letting him go. But, the Jets are another topic. But the Giants, I'm a Giants fan. So for the Giants, I feel like the Giants are going to have a little bit of issues to start out the season because, Odell is ball dominant and Odell's big playability is always there. But I feel like the signing of Brandon Marshall can help Odell in a long run. It takes the double away from Odell. Odell can have a lot more space to create and still have that, that threat in Brandon Marshall to make that catch. And people still do sleep on Sterling Shepard. Mm-hmm. He had a really strong offensive season for his rookie year. He had 8 touchdowns. Yep. Not a lot of people forget about that. But Odell can mature with the addition to Brandon Marshall because Brandon Marshall also had issues younger in his career, just like Odell. So he can give him that sort of experience. It could be a dangerous backfield.
The receiving core right there is beautiful.
They're saying that's number one in the league.
That's number one in the league. But you can't also sleep on the Bucks. They just picked up Deshaun Jackson.
Absolutely.
They had Mike Evans.
Absolutely.
They have a great, they have a young quarterback, but he's coming up. He's getting better.
I think that's the main factor in it. I think I think Jameis Winston is the cornerstone to that move. Jameis Winston he showed an amazing improvement from last season. I actually thought the Bucks were going to make the playoffs. That was my personal opinion. I think that them making that move was basically solely on Jameis Winston. They wanted Jameis Winston to get that other offensive threat because Mike Evans had an amazing year last year. Mm-hmm. Mike Evans is a great receiver, and I think by bringing Deshaun Jackson, kind of similar to what the Giants did, it took off the pressure from Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a tall receiver, red zone threat. So I think having that speedy Deshaun Jackson back there can kind of confuse people in the backfield, like DBs and safeties and things like that, so that Mike Evans can break free. And you never know. Deshaun Jackson always has that big ability to play. So, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. That team, they might be scary in the NFC this year.
I believe so.
They might come out and do some scary things out there. We're gonna have this final question. The Patriots, they just came off that Super Bowl. They came off that Super Bowl run, coming back 28-3, second half, and now I hear they're picking up receivers. They picked up the receiver from New Orleans, Brandon Cooks, who had a great season last year. So how do you feel about that one?
Well, for starters, I feel like the Patriots made the most obvious and most blatant good moves. So I feel like they kind of are one of the top winners in free agency. They still have the ability to re-sign their good linebacker Dante Hightower, which you said he was making his decision this weekend. Mm-hmm. But them getting Brandon Cooks in that trade really helped them because now they got another small, quick receiver that could go right with Edelman. You still have Amendola. Mm-hmm. Gronkowski, you're going to hope that he gets healthy because that guy never's healthy. But I think that those moves really helped their offense. Now, they did get a big move on their defensive end to go with Malcolm Butler, which I don't know what they're going to do with him just yet. Mm-hmm. But Stephon Gilmore, people did sleep on him. He's a great cornerback. He, all-pro. And I think that could be another good defensive move for them. So we'll see where they go with that.
Well, thank you for being here, and this has been CNR Sports.
Guys,
Welcome back to CNR Sports Madness, and now we're going to talk about some CNR sports. So here today, I have my guests, Alex and Brianna, and I have a very good question for you. After winning your first championship as a freshman, and you're looking forward to becoming a sophomore, what are you guys doing this spring to prepare to win another championship?
This spring season, we're training harder than our fall season because since we don't have a busy schedule, we're basically starting our spring season after spring break, and we have a home game April 21st. So let's see how that goes.
Well, that's good to know. I hope you guys, start off the spring season very well.
Yeah.
Alex, I wanted to ask you. I know you're a part of many CNR teams here. You're in the swimming, you're in softball. So how are you adjusting to you being a freshman and you're coming in here with many sports? How are the sports? Do they interfere with school or anything, or how's it go?
It just kind of worked out that swim practices were early in the morning before school, and then I'd go to classes. And our softball coach has always been very good about making our softball practices later in the evening, so no one would end up missing class.
Yeah, okay. And I know you guys, the women's swim team, broke a lot of records this year. So tell us about that experience. How was it coming in, breaking records and stuff like that?
Well, most of the team is freshmen, and we have a couple very good swimmers like Chloe Wing and Eileen Chia, and they both came in as freshmen and broke majority of them and broke like their own records. Like they set them and break them again next week, and it was very cool to see.
That's good. That's a great experience to see our CNR teams be very good. Back to you. I came. You're looking forward to next fall, and you're preparing in the spring. So, tell me some of the tough competition that you may face next year in your conference that could prevent you from maybe winning a championship.
Wow. So this season we had our record was by far the best. Some of the games were too easy. So Coach Kaufman, we are playing probably against Mercy. They're D2. We also have Manhattanville. They're really good. We're going to play against Union. They're a really good school. Keene. We also have Pratt. They're part of our conference. It's going to be a good season. I feel it. We have a strong group of returners, and Coach Kaufman always does a good job recruiting.
And tell me about some of the recruits that you feel are coming in, competing for a spot.
We have new players coming from Puerto Rico, from California, we have from Texas, and I think they have really good qualities, and I know they're gonna get along, and I know we're gonna fit like a puzzle. So
that's good.
I'm excited.
And tell me about your recruiting, not only in softball and swimming too. How do you really recruit for swimming? How do you tell who? I know you go by time and who's the fastest, but how do you recruit for swimming? How do you think your coach is looking at who can fit the team and the system?
He looks them up, and I think he uses Max Preps, and he looks at their times, and we're a Division III school, so he looks more for student athletes, less just athletes. And he looks to be competitive while also he expects at least a 3.0 GPA, and he recruits people based on their academic and athletic abilities. And
last question, just tell me, do you guys, I just want a quick answer, really quick, you think you guys are going to win the championship next year?
Yeah, we got this.
And do you guys think you could come back and break some more records and win a chip?
Definitely.
That's great. Thank you. We're going to wrap that up. CNR Sports Madness.